Hi everyone, Les from FutureFX here, and today I'm taking you through all the different settings for the FutureFX Trend Trader. Now, when you purchase Trend Trader, you should receive an email, and that email will have a playlist of videos to help you get started. Those videos will include how to purchase and set up your VPS, how to download and install the software onto the MT4 platform, another short video on how to use templates to quickly and easily load the software onto multiple different pairs, and this video here taking you through the different settings. If you didn't get all of those videos, let me know. They are automated emails now, but previously, if you've purchased the software previously and only just now watching this video, you may not have access to all those videos. If not, let me know and I'll make sure you get them. So when you purchase this software, you do get one-on-one support to help you set it up and get started properly. So make the most of that. Ask plenty of questions, or if you want to jump on a Zoom, let us know. So being in our actual paid community, which is $50 per month, you get ongoing one-on-one support. So, you know, you can just hassle us for one-on-one support anytime you like. But everybody gets one-on-one support to get set up and started, besides those videos that I just mentioned. Just quickly, the paid community, you also get free upgrades for whenever I improve those softwares. You'll get the improved version for free. You'll get regular optimized settings for a lot more pairs, and regularly updated optimized settings every 2 to 3 months for those pairs. Access to the community, and so those optimized settings will be coming from me, but there are a lot of other guys in the community that also do extensive backtesting, and you'll have access to, you know, what they've discovered, the settings they're using by being in that paid community. You will also, if you have been in the paid community for at least 3 months, get 50% off all other FutureFX products. So most of the actual automated trading softwares with FutureFX are $500 for the year. You'll get them for $250. So there's a $250 saving straight up. So other than that, there is education, you know, manual trading education, you know, regular Zoom calls to improve your education and knowledge on using expert advisors, automated softwares. And we will be very shortly bringing out a copy trading feature so that you can just download some copy trading software, and you can, you know, that any trades I take out on my community account will just get copied across to yours. So a very hands-free passive way of earning there as well. Enough of that. Let's get on to the FutureFX Trend Trader settings. Okay, here we are on the good old MT4 trading platform. And as you can see, I have the latest version of FutureFX Trend Trader here, which is currently the latest version is version 5.0. And if you've followed along those previous videos I mentioned, you will already have the software installed here in the navigator panel of your MT4 ready to go. So let us bring up a chart. That was easy. And I'm just going to skip over exactly how I did that, because that's in one of the other videos, as is the way to use templates to make putting the software onto multiple pairs easier. But just for this video, I'm just going to double click and drag that software onto the chart. And first of all, the most important thing to do is enter your license code. And now I'm just going to click OK to make sure that is the correct code. And because the software stayed on the chart, that means the code was correct. If we come down the bottom and click on the Experts tab, we can also see that the Trend Trader 5.0 was successfully loaded onto the Euro USD chart. I input the license key. It tells me that this is a time-limited copy and it's going to expire on the 13th of the 2nd, 2024. Just so you know, whenever you purchase this software, it will also have an expiry date 1 year from the day I send you that file. So 1 year, and you can see what that exact date is by just loading the software and reading this here in the experts panel. So be aware that your software will stop working on this date. How to keep it going? You'll need to make your yearly subscription payment, and I will then send you a new file with a new 1 year expiry date. And it says it's initialized, and so everything's fine. What I'm going to do now, just to show you, is I'm going to enter the wrong license key, add a couple of letters. So now this is the wrong one. And this is what happens. It comes up saying invalid license, initialization failed. The reason is 8, and the software was removed from the chart. So that's what you will see happen if you enter the wrong license key. But let's get back to it and enter the correct one so we can get on with it. And now it's initialized. The software's on. Everything's good. Okay, first and foremost, the software needs to be on the 15-minute time frame. It will not work correctly on any other time frame. So always leave it on the 15 minutes. If for some reason you don't like viewing things on the 15-minute chart, you can always just load the software onto the 15-minute chart, leave it on there, leave it on the 15-minute. Then you can open up a second chart. So now we have 2 Euro USD charts open. The 15-minute one has the software on it. We have another one open without the software on it, and we can change the time frame on this anytime we like. If we like to view on the one minute, that's fine. If we like to view on the 1 hour, view it on the 1 hour. Having that second chart up, as long as you don't add the software to it as well, will not be a problem. It won't interfere. So you can do that if you don't like viewing things on the 15-minute, although I don't mind. So I'm going to get rid of that and that. And I'm going to take you through all the different settings. Okay, these are the default settings. They do suit. They are one lot of settings that do suit the pound-yen pair, although it's not necessarily the settings that you're going to be using. So what you need to do once you've loaded the software and it's on all the pairs you want to use, you have to come through and adjust these settings to suit the pair that you are looking at. Now, these are the pairs, and obviously this is me supplying you these optimized settings. Now, there's a little bit of a spiel here. I'm calling these your mental health settings simply because these settings on these 5 pairs will incur the very least amount of losses possible. For example, on pound yen, and these statistics here are from back testing from July to December last year. So a full 6 months of back testing. And in 6 months of back testing on pound yen, it incurs 0 losses. So this software trades on pound yen for 6 months on these settings and has no losses at all. That should be incredible to you already. On UF30 for the same 6 months, but on settings to suit UF30, only 2 losses. So 1 loss every 3 months. That's still incredible. On US yen, 2 losses. Euro US, 1 loss. Euro yen, 1 loss. So an extremely, extremely small amount of losses. And that's why it's good for your mental health, because it's absolutely stress-free. You'll feel extremely comfortable using this software on these settings without a doubt. So these are the settings: the take profit setting, the stop loss setting, profit lock 1 settings, profit lock 2 settings, and the results. So those are those settings. So I will go back to MT4 now and show you more about exactly what the settings are. Back on our MT4 and going through the settings. Take profit and stop loss are fairly self-explanatory. The software places a take profit and a stop loss as soon as it places a trade. The settings here, though, are in points. So there are 10 points to every pip. So this is a 170 pip take profit and a 90 pip stop loss. I will mention, though, that the pip distances on Forex pairs, it's going to be universal across the board with what you use. When we're talking about indices or metals or maybe crypto, because I do use UF30 as one of those 5 pairs. So if you're using that one, then the pip distances could be quite different. A lot of brokers will, you would have to enter 17,000, not 1,700. So you'll have to check with your specific broker to see what you should be adding there. Likewise with the order size. So this is in lots. And with some brokers, the lot size is calculated completely differently. And that's simply because the futures contracts can be quite a different size between brokers. So Forex pairs, everything's universal. With indices, though, just be aware that the settings I'm showing you here may not suit your broker. And just so you know, these settings do suit the Pepperstone broker, but it may not suit your broker. So be careful on indices. Other than that, you'll just need to calculate your lot size to ensure that the percentage of loss that it takes, so you just set it to suit your own risk appetite. So if you want to just have a 1% risk per trade, then you'll need to calculate what lot size to use so that a stop loss of whatever will incur that 1% loss based off your account balance. And one of the videos that will be in that playlist will be on using a pip calculator to calculate that. Okay, let's move on to the profit locks. What a profit lock does is it moves the stop loss from its initial position to the other side of the actual trade order line so that it's in profit. And that way, if you hit your profit lock line, which will be it'll move your stop loss line up, in front of the trade, so that if you hit the stop loss, if the market retraces and you hit your stop loss, it will actually be a profit. So the profit lock will activate on these settings. At 235 points, it will activate and move the stop loss to 70 points in front of the trade. So that will be locking in 70 points of profit. Profit lock 2 is exactly the same. It will activate when the trade's in 900 points of profit, and it will move the stop loss to 400 points of profit. Max spread allowed. If we have a look over here in the market watch, this last column here is the actual spreads. If your market watch isn't showing that, all you need to do is right click anywhere in there, and I'll show you that in a minute. I can't do it because I have this box up, but you right click and you just check the spread box so it displays the spreads. So we're doing Euro US here at the moment, and so the spread's only 2, a very small spread on Euro US. And I have my max spread set at 30. I could easily make that smaller. I just have the default on 30 to suit other pairs. So pound yen, it's 16, 18, 20. So you need it higher than 20. So you'd want 30 on that one. The idea of the max spread setting is to stop the software taking out trades when the spread is excessive. So on market open times, for the first hour of the market open every day, when there's some red folder events in play, the spread can get a lot larger, which would, cut right into the potential profits. So we don't want trades to open at those times. So that's what the max spread setting is for. So it needs to be higher than what the spread generally is, but not by too much. So if the spread increases, the software won't take out anything. But a spread setting of 30 is perfect for all the Forex pairs. Again, on indices though, we can see the spread on UF30 is much higher. it is 48. So if I am running UF30, then I'm going to run a max spread of about 50. That can also, the spread can also vary greatly between brokers. This is Pepperstone. Other brokers, you might have to, the spread could be 200 or 300. So you have to know that and adjust it to suit your broker. Okay, moving on. The MA trend, you don't touch that. That's needs to be on 58 for the software to enter the market correctly. I will remove that so you can't change it. You can change it at the moment, but if you do, the software won't work properly. I'll remove that so you can't play with it in the next version. Max trades. So you could run, you could theoretically run this software on 28 different pairs or more at one time, and which could potentially mean you could have 20 or more trades open at once. But if you were to do that, you can then also limit it to a maximum of 5 trades. So the software can't open up any more than 5 trades, no matter how many pairs you're running it on with that setting like that. Then we have the partial trade closes, partial trade close 1 and partial trade close 2. What the partial trade close does is actually close a portion of your trade. So in this case, I have a lot size of 0.2. Once the market gets into 300 points of profit, it will close 0.01. So that will close it out, give me some profit. My balance will go up. And then I will only have 0.19 lot size trade left in play. And then at 700 points of profit, it will close out another 0.01. And then my actual trade left open will only be 0.18. Okay, so you can set those at whatever you like. They aren't included in the recommended settings. I will probably bring out some recommended settings that do include the partial close amount. Just so you know, the partial close amount generally doesn't make a big difference to the profit. Okay, if you the way I have mine set, it increases the overall profit just slightly, but what it does is it smooths out the profits during the week, so that instead of just having a lot of really little profits and a few really big profits, you'll have a lot more medium-sized profits. So it will just feel a lot better because you're not relying on a couple of big profits. You'll just get more medium-sized profits coming in through the week. Which is also good for your mental health, by the way. But it won't greatly increase the amount of profits. What you don't want to do, you don't want to close out too much profit, too much of your trade early on, because preferably you want as much of your trade as possible to go right through to the 1700 take profit line. But it is good to close out a little bit early on and then a bit later on, on a lot size of 0.02. Yeah, I might close out 0.02 or maybe 0.003 later on. The only time you don't want to use the partial, or you may choose not to use the partial close trade at any time. And if that's the case, you want to set the activation at the same as the take profit line. So it's not going to close out anything until you get to 1700, which is the same as a take profit. And then that just simply essentially won't work, because the partial trade closes are set at the same time as the take profit. So everything is going to close out at 1700 points of profit. But I do, as I said, I do like to close out a little bit early on and a little bit more a bit later on, just to, make sure I'm locking in profit regularly, closing out profit regularly. The only time you can't use a partial trade close is, let's say you only have a small account you're running on and your set lot size is only 0.01. You can't close a portion of that because that is the minimum amount. The smallest amount you can open and therefore close is 0.01. So you get my meaning, you can't close out a portion of that. At 0.02, you could close out half of that at some stage and feel free to do so. But generally, I wouldn't use a partial trade close unless I had at least a starting lot size of 0.03, in which case I'd probably close out a little bit early on, and then I would leave the rest to go right through to the take profit. Okay, I hope that informs you enough about what all the settings are. If there are any other questions that you have, or you're still confused about anything, obviously feel free to reach out, ask questions. Even if you're not in our paid community, you're still free to reach out and ask questions anytime. The software will only work, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, if the smiley face here is actually smiling. Okay, if the smiley face isn't smiling, there are two reasons for it. One, on this common tab, you might have the allow live trading box unchecked. So make sure that one is checked. Click OK now, it's still smiling. The other option is you might have the auto trading button turned off, which makes the smiley face a frowny face. So just make sure that smiley face is smiling. Make sure you're on the 15-minute time frame, and don't ever close the MT4 platform. Don't click the X up in the top right-hand corner, because that will close the MT4 platform, and then the software can't work. You can minimize the MT4 platform. You can close down the remote desktop connection to the VPS. That is fine. All you can't do is click the X and close the MT4 platform. Otherwise, she won't work. All right, guys, I hope that's good. I'll leave it to you, and I'll talk to you all again soon.